Verdi by Janell, creator of Staluna. We've read this book before, so this is a little bit long story, but we're going to read it again because we're going to be talking about reptiles. And if we remember correctly, reptiles are cold-blooded animals, and guess what? Snakes are reptiles. So we're going to read our story, Verdi, and then we'll move on. All right, so Verdi. Once, on a small tropical island, the sun rose high above the steamy jungle, and Mother Python was sending her hatchlings out into the forest the way all Mother Pythons do. "Grow up big and green as the tree leaves," she called to her little yellow babies as they happily scattered among the trees. But Verdi dawdled. He was proudly eyeing his bright yellow skin. He especially liked the bold stripes that zigged and zagged down his back. Why the hurry to grow up big and green, he wondered. Maybe some of the older snakes in the jungle could tell him. Verdi ventured into the treetops to look for them. Umbles, Aggie, and Ribbon were lazing on some branches nearby. Verdi peered at the droopy green bodies. "It's not polite to stare," chided Aggie. Umbles burped and groaned. "It's taken nearly 4 weeks for that last lizard to digest. I surely do like lizards, but lizards don't like me." "Why don't lizards like you?" asked Verdi. "Don't interrupt," Umbles grumbled. "Dear me," whined Aggie, "if I don't shed soon, this itchy skin will drive me bananas." Verdi tapped a tune with his tail as he waited to speak. "Stop that, Verdi. It makes me nervous," Ribbon complained. "Besides, you'll never grow up to be properly green, always interrupting and constantly fidgeting." Verdi couldn't imagine being in such a hurry to be like them, and he really wanted to keep his sporty stripes. Hoping to find snakes that weren't so boring, Verdi slipped away. Dozer was snoring in a tree not far from the others. "Hello," said Verdi. "Do you want to climb trees with me?" "I'm tired. Go do a few laps around the jungle, okay?" Verdi's heart sank. Greens were not only lazy, but boring. They were rude. At the top of a very tall tree, Verdi gripped one branch with his tail and another with his little snake jaws. "I will never be lazy, boring, or green," he thought. "I will jump and climb and keep moving so fast that I will stay yellow and striped forever." Then Verdi let go. What do you think he's going to do? That's a good idea. Maybe we should keep reading and find out for sure what he's really going to do. Phew! Whee! Oh my gosh! He's flying in the air and turning circles. Oh, and look, his skin is so pretty and yellow. It has zigs and it has stripes. Ooh, and if you look close, it even has dots. Look at that! Can you fly in the air and turn circles like that? From a distance, the greens watched. "Oh my!" Raymond shook his head. "At this rate, he'll be lucky to make it to his first molt." Aggie nodded. "He's likely to put an eye out on a branch." Umbles moaned. "He may not live to turn green." Goodness. Look at Verdi flying in the air back here. And then you have Ribbon and Umbles and Augie. Oh my goodness. Here we go. But one day, Verdi's skin began to peel, revealing a pale green stripe stretching along his whole body. Ah! How can this be? I'm the speediest snake in the jungle, and I'm still turning green. He raced down to the river, grabbing up a mouthful of rough leaves. What do you think he's going to do with those leaves? Look at that green stripe. He's not only yellow no more, he's also what color? Green. Very good. Verdi flung himself into the water. If I can't run this green off, I'll scrub it off, he thought. What's he using the leaves for? What is he doing with them? Oh, he's using them like a washcloth, like you do when you take your bath. Oh my goodness. What's that? Do you think it could be a catfish? Oh, and look, up in the corner, who is that? That's Verdi, yeah. His frantic splashing caught the eye of a large bottom feeder cruising in the murky depths. The old fish hummed. Lunch. Huh! Look at that fish! What is he doing? Oh my goodness! I think he might be trying to eat Verdi. Well, let's read on and find out. Before the fish could haul Verdi under, the frightened snake bit him on the nose. Apoo! With a blast of his rubbery lips, the fish sneezed, sending Verdi into the air, slapping onto the soggy shore. Verdi skidded out of reach. Shoo-wee, he didn't get eaten by that fish. Who is that? Whew! That was close, he sputtered. Every inch of his body was covered with the wet, gloppy mud. Kind of lumpy. Kind of brown. It beats being green, though. So he left the mud on. So this snake is lumpy and brown, just like our book says. And that was Verdi in the mud. Do you think this is Verdi? I think so. I think he just got covered in mud and he's just looking brown now. But the soft brown muck dried into a hard gray shell and Verdi could barely move. If he even budged, the stuff cracked off in jagged chunks. As each piece fell away, Verdi could see that his body was even greener than before. "This is terrible!" cried Verdi. He pictured himself hanging around in droopy loops, itching and complaining and worrying all day like the old green ones did. He looked up into the sky where the sun blazed a beautiful yellow, just the color he used to be. Then he pulled a vine to the top of the tree. Launching himself from the treetop, Verdi startled a flock of colorful birds. He became dizzy with delight. Sure, the bright sun and his lofty speed would turn him golden again. In his joy, Verdi forgot he would fall back to earth. What do you think is going to happen? Let's find out. Whippity, whippity, flippity, flop, whip! Plummeting through the trees, Verdi landed in a crooked sprawl across a log on the forest floor. He couldn't move. "Help! Help!" he croaked. As usual, the greens had been watching Verdi's antics. They moved quickly to where he lay. "Didn't we say it would come to this?" Umble said, shaking his head. Aggie sighed. "Lucky thing he's still got two good eyes." They gently lifted Verdi up to a safer place where they could watch over him while he healed. Oh my, so you have Ribbons, Umbles, and Augie, all helping who? Who's the yellow snake? Verdi, that's right. Okay, let's see what they do to him. Oh my goodness. Neatly splinted to a branch, Verdi had no choice but to listen to the greens as they gabbled. Remember how I used to streak across the forest floor? Ribbon asked. Quick as lightning, answered Aggie, and I climbed giant trees like they were nothing. They grew taller than you know. The things I dared to run down and swallow, Umbles bragged. Wild boar were no match for me. Verdi was astonished. You used to run and climb and hunt giant pigs? What happened? Ribbon crashed just like you, Augie replied. I took a terrible fall and almost put an eye out, then Umbles here nearly choked to death. Now we all prefer the quiet life, a warm perch, a little sunshine, and an occasional good meal. The greens rambled on about their days of glory, and Verdi settled on his branch. Who is this guy right here? I don't know. Let's find out. Finally, one afternoon, Umble said, Looks like you're ready to go again. He carefully untied Verdi from the branch. You are welcome to come with us, said Aggie. Ribbon agreed. The three greens slipped quietly back into the forest. Verdi wasn't ready to join them. He wasn't sure where he wanted to go, so he just stretched and stayed put until the sun went down. He listened to the forest come to life. Do you see him right here? That's Verdi. Oh, nope, I'm sorry. This guy is Ribbons and Augie, and then the tail right there is Umbles. This guy right here is Verdi. Let's keep going. Oh my goodness. Does anybody see Verdi anywhere? Maybe a frog? Anybody see a frog? I see the frog. He's in the corner. Well, it would help if I had the whole picture, huh? Here's the frog. And a bird. And it's some kind of marsupial. I'm not sure what that is. I think it might be a squirrel. And if you look close, right down here, what is this guy? A leaf bug, that's right. Good job. Time passed. The sun, the moon took turns in the sky. Verdi marveled as the full moon grew thinner every night. Then he watched patiently as it slowly grew around again. He wondered why he hadn't noticed that before. Verdi became so green that he blended perfectly with the leaves. He was so still that other creatures walked right by without seeing him. See Verdi right there? Yeah. He's green, just like those leaves. I almost missed him. One fine morning, as Verdi basked in the sun, two small yellow snakes approached. They tapped and fidgeted as they stared. Get a load of that old green guy, one of them whispered. Do you think he ever moves? The other one snickered. I doubt that. They're just like I used to be, thought Verdi. And now I'm what I was afraid to be. He looked at his green body and slowly smiled. How would you like to climb trees with me? He asked. With you? The yellow snakes were astonished. I'll even show you my fancy figure 8, Verdi replied, though he was a little worried about putting an eye out. With practice, the three snakes performed a perfect figure 8. Leaping and looping with his tiny little striped friends, Verdi laughed. I may be big and very green, but I'm still me. The end.